So this video is your collie stick practice video with your strikes, your blocks, and your kind of trick moves for this testing cycle. So let's start with our strikes. I'm gonna start, so whichever hand that you like to have your weapon in, so if you're right-handed or left-handed, that will be the leg that you'll start with in front on these techniques. So I'm right-handed, so I'm gonna put my right leg in front. My one strike, my left hand will be up to protect my head. My one strike is gonna start up way nice and high. It's gonna come through, it's the start of my X for 1 and 2. So number one strike raises up high, not from our shoulder, but up high. One strike. So from here, ready, one strike. Two strike comes to my other shoulder, and again, it doesn't strike from here, it raises up, two strike. Two strike. Three strike. Starts off here to the side. It can start here, start out straight arm, that's totally up to you. Three strike, make sure it follows underneath, ends up in your armpit. Three strike. This comes across the stomach, hits in the rib cage. Four strike, it's the opposite side. Four. Same thing, comes from underneath this arm. Four. Number 5, gonna start down low, almost ready to tap the floor. It's the start of this X. This way, we're coming up between the legs, or you might be coming up underneath the armpit. But 5. From here, number 6 does not start on your shoulder. Number 6 starts underneath your other arm. Backhand of the 5 strike is 6. Here is 6. 7 comes straight down. Super important on 7 that we don't stop here as we strike on number 7, because then on number 8 we'll have to pull back. 7 is going to go through, so make sure you get some follow through. So 7, flip your hand over so it's palm up, coming back up towards the chin. 8. So 7, 8, and of course 9 is a stab. Maybe your stab comes from this direction. Maybe as you start to come out, you change directions, but your number 9 is always that stab. From the back side, again, the leg, whichever the weapon is in that hand, that leg is in front. Raise it up, 1. Raise it up, 2. Number 3 from the side, 3, 4. Number 5, down low, underneath the armpit, down low. Number 6, number 7, make sure you follow through. Number 8, to the chin. Number 9, as a step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. For the blocks, you'll see on your form sheet there are 6 blocks. These are all supported blocks. I'm going to be using my other hand to support my block. Again, whichever leg is in front, that will be your hand and your leg that are in front with your weapon. So a number 1 block is a supported block here. So my number 1 would be 1 at this angle. Notice how my hand that my weapon is in is very close to my body on number 1. That's for all the odd numbers, my hand will be close to my body. Number 2, I'm going to extend that arm. I'm going to block the other angle. Number 2, again, I'm protecting the side of my head. I'm protecting against their number 2 strike, their number 1 strike. But we call this one number 1, number 2, number 3. Again, my arm is going to be close to my body. Something's coming at my rib cage from this side. Here's my 3. I flip my hands, number 4, number 5, and again, every time that you do an odd numbered one, that hand is close to your body. Number 5, number 6. Now we'll extend this arm on my number 6. So it goes from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. From the back side, that leg is in front wherever my weapon is. Here's my 1. Notice arm close to my body. 2, arm extended that my hand isn't holding that weapon. 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are your blocks for this testing cycle. On your form sheet, you'll see a few trick techniques. The flip. Keep your arm straight. Everybody wants to bend their arm. And again, whichever hand has that weapon, that leg is in front. Don't go here. When I do my flip, it puts the weapon way too close to my teeth. So here's my here's my flip. All I'm doing is my hand is open. If I keep my thumb pointed at the ceiling and I do my flip, my hand will still be pointed. There's my flip. Thumb up, flip, just a nice, easy little flip. After you've done a few flips like that, do a couple double flips, maybe you get it all the way around. Maybe you flip to your other hand. Okay, we flip to our other hand, okay, flip back. That's totally up to you, but we'll learn that little flip move. Okay, from here, you also see on there hatchet. And again, hatchet is for, if I'm combat sparring with you, my partner's looking for motion. So if I pull my arm back, they're gonna respond to that. If my weapon starts to move, they're gonna respond to that. So my hatchet makes sure that my hand is moving all the time. So if I do wanna pull back, they don't recognize that pull back as much. If I'm doing my hatchet, I can just go into my strike. Hatchet, I can just go into my strike, okay? So that hatchet, a good drill would be hatchet 1, hatchet 2, hatchet 3, all the way through 9. We've been doing that drill in class if you've been in class with me as well, okay? So you'll also see a figure 8. So I would say, start with your thumb towards the ceiling. Here's how I got the white belts to start learning this is, I take my stick out of that hand, I just have my thumb up. In the air, I draw the number 8, just letting my thumb lead the way. So my thumb is gonna lead the way, just drawing a figure 8. If you're having a tough time, this will help out a lot. Just draw the figure 8. Now put that weapon in your hand, thumb towards the ceiling, and draw the number 8 so you get into a good figure 8. Problems. If I have my hand down too close to the middle, it's too much wrist involved. Okay? Works great on a bow staff, not as well on this collie stick. If I have my hand too close to the top, then it will want to pull out of my hand. So I want to have a little bit of a tail, and then I can have my figure 8 roll. Okay? You'll see a hand roll. In a hand roll, the best way to practice it is start thumb up, go thumb down, thumb up, thumb down, thumb up. If I try to go this way, it's hard to roll my thumb without rolling my shoulder over. So I want to make sure I turn my hand the easiest way that it will flip over. So thumb down, thumb up, thumb down, thumb up. From the side, thumb down, thumb up. From the back side, thumb down, thumb up is what it's going to look like. And then from here, that thumb is towards the ceiling. I just do my roll over my hand. So it goes roll. I just roll it over the back of my hand. It goes, and really it doesn't even go thumb all the way down. It just kind of goes thumb to the side, and then it rolls over the back of your hand. Okay? If you go too fast, it'll go flying. If you go too slow, then you'll lose it. Okay? So you kind of have to figure out that speed. You got to play with that a little bit. After a while, you'll be able to do figure 8, hand roll, little things like that. Freestyle. You might like over, under. So you might do the over, under that we did at the last testing cycle. You might do behind the back. You might work on some techniques like that. You might do around the world, where you just roll it around your shoulder. You might have some flips, catch behind the back. Freestyle is totally up to you. That's all your techniques. Spend some time with this. Just like on the nunchucks, the more time you spend with it, the better you get at your collie stick, the more things flow. All right, practice. That's the next thing we have to do.